The door to Dean Natalie Hargrove's office slammed shut behind me, the sound echoing like a gunshot in the sterile hallway of Evergreen University. My heart pounded as I pressed my back against the wood, her piercing blue eyes locking onto mine with a mix of fury and betrayal that made my knees weak. "Natalia, or should I say whoever the hell you really are," she snarled, her voice low and venomous. "You think you can waltz in here, pretend to be some wide-eyed Omega student, and flirt your way into my life without consequences?" I swallowed hard, the weight of my deception crashing down like a tidal wave. For months, I'd woven this intricate web of lies, all to get close to her, to expose the corruption I believed she was hiding in the university's administration. But now, standing there in her domain, the lines between my mission and my growing feelings blurred into something dangerously real. What started as a calculated ploy had twisted into an obsession, and the price of my choices stared back at me in her accusing gaze. Why had I done this? The question gnawed at me from the inside as I replayed the events that led here. It began last summer, when my sister, an actual Omega alumna, confided in me about the whispers of favoritism and hidden agendas in the dean's office. As a journalist fresh out of grad school, I saw my big break. Uncover the beta dean's secrets, publish the exposé, and launch my career. But Evergreen wasn't just any school. It was a bastion of tradition in the heart of Seattle, where societal roles alpha, beta, omega still dictated opportunities in subtle, insidious ways. Posing as an Omega freshman seemed perfect, vulnerable, unassuming, easy to overlook. I dyed my hair, forged documents, and enrolled in introductory classes, all while inching closer to Natalie. Her reputation preceded her, a sharp, no-nonsense beta in her early 30s, climbing the ranks through sheer intellect and unyielding determination. Society expected betas like her to be mediators, the balanced ones without the alpha aggression or Omega sensitivity. But I sensed more, a guarded vulnerability beneath her polished exterior. My first encounter was at a campus mixer, where I accidentally spilled coffee on her sleeve. Apologies turned into conversation, and soon, I was volunteering in her office, filing papers and stealing glances at confidential files. Flirting came naturally, or so I told myself. A lingering touch here, a meaningful smile there. It was all part of the act. But as weeks turned to months, the act felt less like performance and more like truth. Natalie's laugh, rare and genuine, lit something in me I hadn't expected. Late nights reviewing student policies became charged with unspoken tension. I found myself questioning my motives. Was I still in this for the story or for her? The internal conflict tore at me. Journalistic ethics screamed to abort, but my heart whispered to stay. One evening, as rain pelted the windows, she confided in me about her own struggles. "Being a beta dean means walking a tightrope," she said, her voice soft. "Alphas push for dominance, omegas demand empathy, and I'm stuck proving I'm neither too weak nor too cold." I nodded, feigning understanding, but inside guilt churned. How could I betray someone who trusted me? Yet, the evidence I'd gathered, emails suggesting preferential treatment for alpha donors, pushed me forward. I had to choose. Expose her and risk everything, or walk away and lose my integrity. The turning point came during a faculty gala. Dressed in a borrowed gown that hugged my curves, I approached her under the chandelier lights. "You look stunning tonight, Dean Hargrove," I murmured, my hand brushing hers. Her eyes darkened, and for a moment, I thought she'd pull away. Instead, she leaned in, her breath warm against my ear. "Call me Natalie. And careful, Natalia. Flirting with the dean could get you in trouble." The spark was electric, but so was the danger. That night, I stole a key from her purse, planning to access her private records. Back in my dorm, doubt flooded me. What if she was innocent? What if my evidence was circumstantial, born from my own biases against the system? Society's rigid hierarchies had scarred me too. Growing up as a beta myself, I'd faced dismissal for not fitting the mold. Pretending to be Omega was my rebellion, but now it felt like self-sabotage. I paced the room, heart racing. If I went through with this, I'd destroy her career, and whatever was budding between us. But backing out meant admitting defeat, letting the corrupt system win. The next day, I slipped into her office after hours, key in hand. Files sprawled across her desk, and I rifled through them, pulse thundering. That's when the door creaked open. Natalie stood there, her face a mask of shock. What are you doing? She demanded. I froze, excuses dying on my lips. In that instant, everything unraveled. She grabbed my wrist, pulling me close. You're not who you say you are. And that flirting? Was it all a lie? Tears stung my eyes as I confessed fragments of the truth, omitting the worst. Her hurt expression cut deeper than any accusation. I thought you were different, she whispered. An omega fighting the odds. But you're just another manipulator. The words pierced me, forcing a reckoning with my choices. Had I become the very thing I despised? The confrontation escalated, voices rising as she pieced together my deception. I begged for understanding, but trust shattered like glass. As security escorted me out, the campus blurred through my tears. The hook had sunk deep, and now the line reeled me in toward inevitable consequences. What price would I pay for this betrayal? And could anything salvage the genuine connection I'd foolishly ignited? Exile from Evergreen felt like a death sentence for my ambitions, but the real torment brewed inside me as I huddled in my Seattle apartment, staring at the unpublished article on my laptop. Natalie's face haunted my thoughts, her betrayal mirrored in my own self-loathing. How had I let a simple investigation spiral into this emotional quagmire, where every decision felt like a moral landmine? The days blurred into a haze of regret. I replayed our moments. The stolen glances in her office, the way her hand lingered on mine during mentoring sessions. Was it all fabricated on my end? No, that was the cruel twist. Amid the lies, real feelings had taken root. As a beta in a world that pigeonholed us as emotionless facilitators, I'd always suppressed my desires, especially those that defied norms. Loving another woman, let alone one in power, was a societal taboo layered atop the A/B/O divides. Families like mine, conservative and image-obsessed, would disown me if they knew. My phone buzzed incessantly, calls from my editor demanding the story. This could blow up the university's facade, he urged. But exposing Natalie meant dragging her through the mud, revealing not just administrative flaws but our personal entanglement. The mouth-wan Dowduk gnawed at me. Was journalism about truth or destruction? I paced the room, inner monologue raging. You're a hypocrite, Natalia. You infiltrated her life for glory, and now you hesitate because you caught feelings? Pathetic. A knock at the door jolted me. There stood my best friend, Lena, an Omega activist who'd helped forge my fake ID. Girl, what happened? The campus is buzzing about a fraudulent student. I collapsed into her arms, spilling the truth in sobs. Lena's eyes widened. You flirted with the dean? Natalie Hartgrove? That's bold, but dangerous. Society already paints us lesbians as threats to the hierarchy. Her words amplified my fears. Coming out in this rigid system meant ostracism, especially for someone like Natalie, whose beta status demanded neutrality. That night I dreamed of her, us walking hand in hand through campus quad, free from judgment. Waking to reality stung. I decided to confront my family first, testing the waters of honesty. Over dinner at my parents' suburban home, I broached the topic vaguely. What if someone hid their identity for a greater good? My mother, a staunch alpha, scoffed. Deception breeds chaos. Look at how omegas are stereotyped as weak. Lies only reinforce that. My father nodded. And relationships? Stick to what's expected, Natalia. No scandals. Their words felt like chains, reminding me why I'd rebelled. Coming clean about my sexuality would shatter them, but living a lie was suffocating. Fueled by resolve, I emailed Natalie an apology, begging for a meeting. To my shock, she agreed. Neutral ground, a coffee shop downtown. Arriving early, nerves frayed, I spotted her at a corner table, her short hair tousled, eyes guarded. Why? She asked without preamble as I sat. Why me? I hesitated, then poured out my motivations, the suspicions of corruption, my journalistic drive. But I admitted the unexpected. The flirting started as a tool, but it became real. I fell for you. Her face hardened. Real? You lied about everything, your status, your age, your intentions. How can I trust that? The confrontation intensified. Our voices hushed but heated. She revealed her own vulnerabilities. A past relationship with a woman that ended in heartbreak due to family pressure. I built walls for a reason, Natalia. Being beta means no distractions, no scandals. And you? You could ruin me. Guilt surged. I'd endangered her career, her life. Yet, in her anger, I saw flickers of reciprocated emotion, lingering gazes, trembling hands. We parted unresolved, but the encounter ignited a fire. Back home, I deleted the article draft. Exposing her wasn't worth the damage. But society wouldn't let go easily. Rumors spread, whispers of the dean's inappropriate involvement with a fake student. Natalie's position teetered, and blame circled back to me. My editor fired me for wasting time. Isolation deepened, inner thoughts a storm. You've lost everything for what? A fleeting crush? Or was it love worth the sacrifice? Then came the betrayal from within. Lena, whom I trusted, leaked details to a rival paper, twisting the narrative to portray me as a seductive infiltrator preying on the dean. It's for the greater good, she texted, exposing the system's flaws. Rage boiled. My friend had turned Judas, using my story for her activism. The article hit online, sensationalized headlines screaming scandal. Natalie's face plastered everywhere, her integrity questioned. I rushed to her office, bypassing security. It wasn't me, I pleaded as she glared from behind her desk. Lena betrayed us. Tears streamed down her face. Us? There is no us, Natalia. You've destroyed my life. The pain in her voice mirrored my own. In that moment I realized the true cost. Not just careers but hearts irreparably wounded. How could I fix this? The high-stakes drama escalated, forcing choices that would define us both. The fallout hit like a hurricane, sweeping through Evergreen and beyond, as media outlets dissected the dean's deception scandal. I watched from my apartment, horror-struck, as Natalie's poised image crumbled under public scrutiny. My inner turmoil raged. This is your fault. You started the chain reaction with your lies. Now she's paying the price. Society's lens magnified every detail. How a beta dean could fall for an imposter Omega, questioning her judgment and fueling anti-LGBT sentiments. Conservative groups protested outside the university, banners decrying moral decay in academia. Natalie's family, prominent alphas from the East Coast, disavowed her publicly. A leaked statement from her mother. We raised her to uphold standards, not indulge in such aberrations. The words echoed my own fears. My parents had gone silent, their disappointment a palpable void. Desperate for redemption, I contacted a lawyer, offering to go public with the full truth, that the flirting was mutual, the corruption unfounded. But Natalie blocked my number. Isolation bred paranoia. Every glance on the street felt judgmental. As a lesbian in this divided world, I'd always navigated shadows, but now the spotlight burned. Why fight for love when society deems it wrong? The question looped endlessly. A surprise visit from my sister shattered the solitude. Natalia, what have you done? She demanded, eyes wide. As an actual Omega, she'd faced discrimination her whole life, soft-spoken, expected to submit. You pretended to be like me? For a story? And now this affair rumor. I confessed everything, tears flowing. Her anger softened to pity. Love isn't a game, sis. Especially not for us. Families tear apart over less. Her words struck deep. Our parents' conservative values clashed with my identity, creating a rift I'd ignored. Motivated, I attended an underground LGBT support group in the city, seeking solace. There, stories of similar struggles poured out, women hiding relationships, facing disownment. One shared, my beta partner left me because society said we couldn't balance each other. It mirrored Natalie and me. Leaving the meeting, resolve hardened. I had to fight for her, for us. Sneaking onto campus, I cornered Natalie in the parking lot after dark. Please hear me out, I begged. She whirled, face etched with exhaustion. What more is there? You've cost me everything. My job's on the line, my reputation in tatters. The confrontation crackled with tension. I admitted my love outright. It wasn't just flirting. I see you, the real you, beyond the dean title. She faltered, vulnerability cracking her armor. And I saw potential in you, Natalia. But trust? That's gone. Yet in the shadows she revealed more. Suspicions of actual corruption higher up, involving Alpha board members. I was investigating too, she confessed. That's why I let you close. I thought you were an ally. Shock hit me, we'd been on the same side all along? The irony twisted the knife. My deception had blinded me to the truth. We parted with uneasy truce, but seeds of alliance planted. Back home, pressure mounted. My parents summoned me for a talk. Arriving at their house, the atmosphere was frigid. Is it true? About you and that woman? My father thundered. I nodded, heart pounding. I'm gay, Dad. And I love her. Silence exploded into argument. Accusations of rebellion, threats of cutting ties. My mother wept. We can't have this shame. The family mouthwash peaked, forcing me to choose. Conform or lose them. Walking out, pain seared but freedom beckoned. Was this the price of authenticity? Meanwhile, Natalie's hearing loomed. Rumors swirled of her resignation. I couldn't let that happen. Rallying anonymous supporters online, I posted defenses highlighting systemic biases. The tide shifted slightly. Progressive voices amplified, questioning the witch hunt. But betrayal struck again. Lena appeared on TV, claiming I manipulated her too. Fury ignited. Friendships fractured under drama's weight. In a clandestine meeting at a park, Natalie and I reconvened. Why help me now? She asked, eyes searching. Because I owe you. And because I can't let go. Tension built as we dissected our feelings. Attraction born from deception, now evolving into something profound. She admitted reciprocity. You challenged my walls. But the damage. We agreed to collaborate on exposing the real corruption. A high-stakes gamble. As we delved into evidence, late nights blurred boundaries. Inner thoughts conflicted. This could redeem us or destroy what's left. The alliance deepened our bond, but societal pressures loomed, threatening to unravel everything. With the hearing approaching, decisions loomed, testify together or apart. The drama intensified, each choice a potential catastrophe. The university boardroom buzzed with tension as Natalie faced the inquiry panel, her composure a fragile shield against the storm. I sat in the back, disguised in a wig and glasses, heart hammering. Watching her defend herself twisted my guts. This is on you. Your lies led here. But now we'll fight back together or fall apart. The alpha-dominated board grilled her relentlessly. Dean Hargrove, explain your involvement with this imposter, the chairman demanded. Natalie met his gaze steadily. She was a volunteer. Any flirting allegations are baseless smears. Lies to protect me, I realized, guilt surging. When my turn came as a witness, I shed the disguise, stepping forward. Gasps rippled through the room. I'm Natalia Reyes. And the real story isn't scandal. It's corruption at the top. Chaos erupted. I presented evidence we'd gathered. Emails proving Alpha board members siphoned funds, favoring their own. Natalie backed me, her voice firm. I suspected this. That's why I kept her close. The revelation shifted focus, but not without cost. Accusations flew. You're deflecting with conspiracy theories. The confrontation peaked, voices clashing in heated debate. In my mind, doubts swirled. Will they believe us? Or will our relationship taint the truth? Post-hearing, backlash intensified. Media painted us as conspirators in a lesbian plot to undermine tradition. Natalie's suspension pending investigation deepened her isolation. She called me that night, voice breaking. My family's cut me off. They say I'm a disgrace. Empathy flooded me, I'd lost mine too. We'll get through this, I promised, but uncertainty gnawed. Society's kin, lesbians as disruptors, betas as unreliable, amplified every wound. Seeking refuge, we met at a secluded cabin outside Seattle, a temporary escape. There barriers crumbled. Why risk it all for me? I asked. She sighed. Because beneath the lies I saw your fire. It matches mine. Confessions flowed. Her suppressed sexuality, pressured into heteronormative expectations. I dated men to fit in, but it was empty. My story mirrored. Hiding crushes, fearing rejection. The emotional intimacy built, but we kept physical boundaries, focusing on healing. Inner monologue raged. This feels right, but at what cost? Betrayal reared again. A board insider leaked our location, paparazzi swarming. We fled, paranoia setting in. Who can we trust? Natalie whispered. The answer, only each other. Back in the city, we rallied allies, LGBT groups, progressive faculty. A press conference loomed, our chance to control the narrative. But my ex-editor resurfaced offering a deal. Sell the inside story for redemption. Temptation hit. Financial security versus loyalty. I refused, but the choice haunted me. Family pressures culminated in a surprise intervention. My parents ambushed me at a cafe. "Come home, forget this nonsense," my mother pleaded. "That woman, she's ruined you." Anger flared. "No, she awakened me. I'm gay, and I won't hide." The argument escalated, ending in tears and slammed doors. Walking away, liberation mixed with loss. Was authenticity worth familial bonds? Natalie's world fractured further. Her suspension turned to threats of firing. In a vulnerable moment, she confessed doubts. "Maybe they're right. Maybe we shouldn't." Heartache pierced me. "Don't give up on us." The drama crested, forcing a pivotal decision. Go public as a couple, amplifying risks, or separate for safety. We chose unity, testifying together in a follow-up hearing. Evidence mounted, implicating key alphas. The board crumbled under scrutiny, resignations following. Victory tasted bittersweet. Natalie reinstated but scarred. Society's gaze lingered, judgments whispered. In quiet aftermath, we navigated new realities. Therapy for trust issues, advocacy for change. But wounds festered, my deception's shadow loomed. As normalcy crept in, a final twist emerged. Lena approached, apologetic. I leaked to force reform. Rage boiled, but Natalie intervened. Forgiveness or grudges? Choose. I forgave, tentatively, recognizing shared struggles. The experience transformed us, stronger, yet forever altered. Questions lingered. Had our love survived the fire, or was it forged in it? The high trio subsided, leaving introspection in its wake. Reintegration into life post-scandal felt like navigating a minefield, with evergreens halls echoing remnants of our turmoil. Natalie resumed her dean duties, her authority restored but her spirit wary. I, jobless and infamous, channeled energy into freelance writing on societal reforms, exposing EB/O biases without personal vendettas. Yet our relationship teetered on fragile ground, each day a test of rebuilt trust. Mornings brought quiet reflections. Did I deserve this second chance? My actions had nearly destroyed her. Yet here we were, sharing coffee in her apartment, tentative smiles bridging the gap. I still see the imposter sometimes, she admitted one dawn. Honesty stung, but it was progress. My inner voice countered. Prove yourself. Show love through actions, not words. We attended couples counseling, unpacking layers, deception's roots in my ambition, her walls from past hurts. Society's backlash persisted. Anonymous hate mail arrived. Betas like you corrupt the order. Protests outside her office demanded resignation, citing moral unfit. We countered with advocacy, speaking at LGBT forums. Love defies hierarchies, Natalie declared to applause. But privately, doubts assailed me. Are we fighting a losing battle? Family rifts deepened. My parents sent sporadic messages, conditional on normalcy. Hers remained estranged. The emotional toll mounted. Sleepless nights, anxiety spikes. A pivotal moment came at a national conference on equality. We presented together our story, a case study in resilience. Backstage, tension peaked. What if this exposes us more? I fretted. She squeezed my hand. Then we face it together. The speech resonated, sparking debates on ethics, identity. Post-event offers flooded. Book deals, interviews. Temptation arose. Capitalize on drama? But we declined exploitative ones, choosing integrity. Personal growth intertwined with romance. Dates evolved from cautious to genuine. Walks in parks, deep conversations. I love you despite the start, she whispered one evening. Joy surged, but shadows lingered. Inner conflict. Can love born from lies endure? We navigated intimacy carefully, respecting boundaries, focusing on emotional bonds. Betrayal's echoes faded slowly. Lena re-entered as an ally, collaborating on reforms. Forgiveness healed, but vigilance remained. As months passed, normalcy solidified. Shared routines, mutual support. Yet societal pressures tested us. A colleague's snide remark, a family's holiday exclusion. Each hurdle reinforced our bond or threatened it. In quiet moments, I pondered the journey's costs. Lost friendships, fractured families, scarred reputations. Was it worth it? The awakening to self, to love, felt profound. Natalie echoed. We paid dearly, but we're free. Advocacy bore fruit. Policy changes at Evergreen promoted inclusivity, challenging Dinkian. Climax resolved into reflection. Our story, once a scandal, became inspiration. But questions persisted. Did deception justify the ends? In the end, we stood together, resilient amid chaos. Was it right to deceive for love and justice, or does the end never justify the means?